The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, yeah, guy. Some. Hit the keys. And in today's video, I kind of want to react to major record labels are now about to take legal action against some of the AI companies out there like UDIO, I don't know how to say it, or SUNO. Let's go ahead and just take a look here at the story. So as first reported on Billboard.com, they basically say here, major labels weighing lawsuit against AI firms SUNO and UDIO for alleged unlicensed training. I don't have Billboard. I'm not going to pay for Billboard either, especially with all these ads and this wonky ass website. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Gear News and finish the story from here. So shout out to Gear News. Very good musical publication. If you guys never checked it out, check it out. I always report for them. They're friends of the channel. Sometimes they post my content on their channel as well. So salute to them. But they covered this a little bit better for us. So it basically says here, UDIO and SUNO under fire, major labels eyeing lawsuit against AI companies. Artificial intelligence from UDIO and SUNO in the spotlight. Did they use music for training illegally? So that's what the problem is right now, is that they are taking, songs, and then they're using AI to learn those songs, and then they're doing all their AI generation based off of other music out there. So if you've been following the channel for a while, I told you guys that the major record labels weren't going to let these AI companies just do whatever they want, for simple reasons. Is like, yeah, they can make money off of AI and all that other stuff, but AI can't go on tour. A lot of money that these record labels and artists and everybody make is being on tour. So who's going to an AI concert? I swear to God, if you say you're going to an AI concert. So according to various international music magazines, the three major record labels, UMG, which is Universal Music Group, Warner, and Sony, are considering a lawsuit against AI startups SUNO and UDIO for allegedly training their music generators on copyrighted music data. Why this offense should be taken to court is clear, but it is important to fight the generative AI in music, or should technology be given a little leeway? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A similar issue concerning copyright has long been raised when it comes to sampling, what's right and what isn't. Now, see, I feel like there's a huge difference between sampling and AI, especially AI in this form, because they're never going to credit the artist. At least when you sample music, the artist gets royalties and you have to pay them for clearance and like stuff like, if you drop a track with a sample and you get a Grammy nomination, the original creator also gets a Grammy nomination. That's something that Ray J talked about on the Shannon Sharp podcast. So things like that are important because this artist still needs to get paid off of their work. And so that's the biggest part. The difference between AI versus sampling is that with sampling, at least the original artists get paid for their work. Why UDIO is turning the music industry on its head with generative, I can't even say that word properly, AI. A lawsuit is being considered against two well-established companies in the generative AI music space. While many competitors focus on generating music, lyrics, and vocals, SUNO and UDIO allow users to generate all three elements at the touch of a button. Various music magazines have suggested the lawsuit could be filed as early as next week. We've asked the three major record labels, SUNO and UDIO, for comments, but we have not heard back. Obviously, the record labels aren't going to comment back because if they're going to file a lawsuit, they don't want to give any of that information away. I want to come back to this for 1 second when I want to talk about this versus sampling, because I believe that's where this article is going to go. I haven't read it, so I'm actually reacting to this in real time with you guys. There's a huge difference between taking a sample and making it yours and just pushing create, and you got drums, a melody, and vocal, and now you're calling that music and that's a song. There's a reason why a lot of us older heads don't like the AI. Is because people use it irresponsibly. They think that it's a means to get a successful result sooner than they deserve. So like, there's musicians out there who've been doing this for 15, 20 years. I'm not telling you that you have to been doing music for 15, 20 years to blow up. But I mean, if you want to call yourself a musician, you can't just push generate, have a song, and they'll be like, oh, I made that beat, because you made nothing of that beat. Some AI technology made that beat. Now, where I do say that AI technology is cool is if like you generate something and then you take this idea, you chop it up, or you change some notes in a MIDI and you do some stuff and then you make it your own. Then you add a counter melody, another counter melody, you create your drums, you create your bass line. Well, then you basically just took that AI and you've made that a sample. But that's not what people are doing. And we all know that. We all know that. We all know that. I've seen some of y'all make some beats. We all know that y'all just want to Y'all want the easy route to get rich and famous. And really, I do a bunch of interviews on this channel now, and every single major producer or engineer that I've talked to so far, I've talked to over 100 million records sold in the last couple of weeks, and they will tell you that they love music first. If you love music first, everything else will come with it. You got to work for the stuff and you got to put the time and the effort into it. But if you love the craft, it's going to be more rewarding than if you just see it as a money grab and then you're mad because you're not getting money. I also want to send a shout out to Gear News for featuring all the homies in here. You know what I'm saying? You already know Miss Crystal is the homie. You already know Weaver's the homie. So this is pretty dope that when you're looking through this thing, you're seeing a bunch of your homies, in Gear News too in this article. So that's pretty solid. But we'll get back to this. These record labels, including UMG, have already taken legal action against Anthropic, another major AI company, for allegedly using copyrighted materials to train its AI models. However, that case only revolved around lyrics, which are legally similar to written material. The new lawsuit focuses on music and sound. Yo, look, I'm gonna be real though. If y'all about to go after all these AI companies, y'all need to go after Spotify too, because they illegally started their company by taking all your music, downloading everything off of LimeWire, and then using that to figure out if Spotify could work. So y'all need to hold Spotify accountable too for doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they did the same thing except for not with AI, but for their brand. So UDIO and the future of music, a threat to copyright. Just a few months ago, after it was launched, a user from UDIO had already created an AI-generated hit song called BBL Drizzy. I got a BBL Drizzy remix on the channel too, by the way. I'll link that. Check that out. Pause. I'll say that now. It was created by comedian King Willineus. I'm not sure how you say his name. And went viral when super producer Metro Boomin remixed it. The song later gained further publicity when it was resampled in You My Everything by Sexy Red and Drake. So that's the first case of anybody sampling an AI-generated song to make it a major hit. So that I don't really have a problem with. Taking a sample, flipping a sample, and making it your own. Again, that's the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, art is supposed to come from you. Pause. So, like, even if I take a sample and I start chopping it up and I start doing all this other stuff, well, that's my interpretation of that sample. So, again, just to clarify, I know this is old head talking right now. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this, but this is just some real stuff, man. Like, this is some real stuff. A lot of us protect music because we've been doing it for so long. We love it so much. We put so much effort, time, and we've done so much that it's just like to watch people come in with AI and just try to take over is wild. So SUNO has become quite the success story since its founding in 2023. In May, the company announced that it had received $125 million in funding from big name investors, including Lightspeed, Venture Partners, Nate Freeman, and Daniel Gross. However, many people in the music industry have criticized both companies. They say that their generative models have been trained on lots of copyrighted material, including big name hits, without getting permission, payment, or attribution to the right holders. SUNO and UDIO have declined to comment on whether they have trained their AIs on copyrighted songs. So clearly they have, because if they didn't, they would say, no, we didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ignores clearing their name if they can. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna be like, no comment when they're not guilty. You'll be like, no, I didn't do that. Y'all know how it is, man. Y'all know how society works. You know how it is. If you're accused of something, you're not gonna take the accusation. You know. So what does it say here? UDIO's co-founder told Billboard magazine that they simply train on good music. Again, they didn't deny the claims. Good music, popular music, so on and so forth. So if the lawsuit goes ahead, it'll be about whether using unlicensed materials to train AI models is copyright infringement. This is one of the major obstacles for the AI industry, as their models in any of the arts, be it graphic, music, or film, would likely output far worse quality if they excluded the training data from copyright protected material. Numerous similar lawsuits have been filed recently in other sectors over licensed training. Then we'll cover this real quick and we'll finish this up. So many AI companies say that such training is protected by fair use doctrine. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? DMCA, there's a difference. Music doesn't fall underneath fair use. A law that allows people to reuse protected works. Although fair use has historically allowed things like news reporting and parody, AI companies say it could be applied equally to those using millions of works to art to create a new model that spits out entirely new creations. This argument will likely be central issue in any lawsuit over AI training. So let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on this topic? I know Weaver covered this maybe like a month ago, where UDIO was still in songs where it came out. So obviously, you know, the major record labels, they had to do their due diligence and figure out the route that they wanted to take before they, you know, made legal actions or threatened with legal actions or anything like that, because this is all so new. This is just a new space with all this AI and stuff. So again, I'm not going to hate on all AI. I'm not that guy. You know, I always say, I'll mess with like Ozone, I'll mess with Nectar, I'll mess with certain AI plugins to enhance my art, if that makes sense. I don't use AI to create the art. I use AI to enhance my art and enhance what I've already done. So I feel like that should be the model that we go by as musicians. If AI is doing all the work, it's not okay. But if you're just using it to enhance your work and make the work that you actually created better, or as an idea and a starting point for your idea for you to remix, I feel like that's okay. But if it's just like we're smacking a bunch of AI together, creating songs, throwing them out to get money, that's not where it's at, bro. You don't even love music like that. You need to learn how to love music before you put music out. So that's what I got for you guys today. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell, so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the keys.